Hello, everyone. Welcome and welcome back to Oh, It's Better This Way, where we'll find out together. Is it really better this way? I don't know. There's still research to do and data to collect, so why don't you just step into my office and let's find out together? Thank you for joining me today, folks. I am very excited. I am joining you from the floor of my bedroom so that my rabbit can hop up to me at any time and say hi. I'm River. Let's get this thing going. I'm very excited for the little chat we're going to have today. As I'm sure anyone who's here knows very well by now, I am a writer. And if you don't know, let me tell you more about that. So I specialize in playwriting, musical writing, songwriting, poetry, all those things. I also like to dip my toes into fiction, like writing short stories. I like nonfiction, like essays, things like that. I like to write in journals. I like to write everything. Writing is my thing. I love writing. And one of my goals for this upcoming year is to have more institutional support with my writing. So essentially, applying for things, applying for residencies, grants, submitting my works to journals that might publish what I write, things of that nature. I really want institutional support. And what applying for a bunch of different things really entails, what it really involves, is a lot of rejection. Like, so much rejection, you can't even fathom it. But like, what you can't fathom, and then some more. A lot of rejection. And what people typically tend to think of when they have the potential to get rejected is that they get scared and they're like, how about, no, I actually won't do that. That's terrifying. Don't perceive me. And then they just don't submit their work for anything. And that is no good. So this is gonna sound really messed up, but I, as a writer, actually crave rejection. Now, in my normal day-to-day life, I have ADHD, therefore I have rejection-sensitive dysphoria. So anything I even mildly perceive as a rejection, I'm like, oh God, it makes me shrivel up and die on the inside, and then I'm on the floor crying for hours. I love being neurodiverse. Yeah, and ADHD is not even the only thing in the soup of this brain. Like, what am I supposed to do? There's so many ingredients going on in here. But anyways, in my normal day-to-day life, rejection is like, oh God, that's the worst. That's the worst. Absolute worst. Even just obviously very clearly thinking about it is making my skin crawl. However, as a writer, I am different. I am different in that regard because I really do see the importance and value of seeking out that rejection. So on the outside, it sounds counterintuitive. However, on the inside, here's what's really going down. Seeking out and getting a bunch of rejections for your work simply means that you are submitting your work. Whoa! That's great. That's incredible. That's what you want. If that's your goal, is to submit things and hopefully get residencies and grants and publishing opportunities and things like that. The goal is to apply it all, right? To find different places you'd be interested in working with and just kind of like throwing your stuff at them and seeing what sticks. Getting a bunch of rejections means you're doing the work you need to do. You are putting your work out there. You're putting yourself out there. More eyes are getting on it. More ears are listening to you. More people are knowing you and your voice and what you have to offer. And that is an amazing thing. In the long run, getting all of these rejections is going to lead to more acceptances. Now, of course, you might get 100 no's before you get a yes. You might get 500 no's before you get a yes. It might be 1,000 no's before you get a yes. There's no formula, there's no certainty, but that's okay because the more you put your work and yourself out there, the more clarity and direction you can get for where is going to actually accept your work and take you in and things like that. You get to figure out where your work jives a little bit more and where your work jives a little bit less. And you can also find out through applying for a bunch of different things how to strengthen your applications themselves. What you need to do in order to really convince people, yes, I'm the writer you want. My work is the work you want. You want this work. You do want it. How can you sell yourself? It helps you figure all of that out by actually doing the practice of submitting all of these things. Whereas, if you never start submitting all of these things, you'll never really learn how to submit the things. You know, that was something I was really scared of when I started submitting and applying for a bunch of different things, is that I didn't know how to do that. What was I supposed I didn't know how to do that and go about doing that. And it was also kind of scary because I was claiming myself to be a writer. And especially if you are emerging in your career, if you are new as a writer, that's very scary because it's like, well, I don't really have much to say other than I like to write. I don't have any publications. I don't have any productions of my shows. Here you go. Will you take a chance on me? It's like the same thing in every field. Like every job ever wants like 5 years of experience, and it's like, I don't have that. Someone accept me so that I can get the experience, you know? It's a similar sort of thing, but you just have to take shots in the dark, and you have to trust that your writing stands and it proves itself to be what it is, and it's enough. And you just need to start the applications and start searching for those no's, because the more no's you get, the closer you are to a yes. You gotta start applying and get those no's, and then at one point, it's gonna be a yes, and you're gonna be really, really surprised. I got accepted for something recently, and I was like, oh, okay, that's happening now. Cool. I have something going on in my life, something to look forward to. But I wouldn't have gotten that if I did nothing about it. I applied for that opportunity not really expecting anything. Just in the very least expecting, oh, I'll probably get a no, I'll get a rejection email, and that's fine, and I'm fine with that. But instead I got a yes. And so this isn't to say that by going and seeking out rejections that you're going to manifest rejections, because that's not really it either. Obviously, you don't want to do this in a way that'll be like, oh, well, what's the point, you know? Like, I'm just going to get rejected, so I'm going to, like, put, like, 20% effort into this. Like, that's not really the point. It's more so that you put out your best self out there, and you just have to accept that it still might not be the right fit for that place. There are a lot of wonderful writers out there, and a lot more writers that might have more experience than you. And so a no is more likely than a yes. However, you need to put your best application forward no matter what, and even if not now, maybe down the line, they will remember your really good application like the next year, the year after that, and be like, oh, I remember this writer. You know, I want to give this writer this opportunity now, and then boom, you're accepted. So you always want to make sure you put the most amount of effort you possibly can without causing, you know, burnout for yourself and undue stress. You want to put the most amount of effort you can put into it to get a really good application and really make sure your work is edited the way you want it to be, the way that best represents it and best represents you as a writer. And then just submit. And then after that, just forget about it. Like they say in Ted Lasso, be a goldfish, okay? Just forget about it. After you submit, that's done. You've done your work. You've put that out into the universe. You've done your work. You've done all you needed to do for that application. So forget. Just forget about it. I don't remember half of the applications that I've submitted. I mean, I have them tracked in a spreadsheet, but in my brain, they're not in there. They're not in there. So then by the time a rejection email comes, it doesn't even hurt. It doesn't even hurt. It's just like, oh, I applied for that? I don't remember. Gotta know. Woohoo! I try to collect as many rejections as possible so that I can apply for as many things as possible and then forget about as many things as possible. And then the yeses randomly pop up every once in a while and I'm like, "Oh, yay. I get to do a play festival now," or "My thing's going to be submitted here." You know? And honestly, I like the whole seeking out rejections thing and then forgetting about it, because instead, if I was seeking out acceptances, I would be so obsessed with all of the submissions that I'm doing. I would be obsessed that they need to be perfect, that my applications need to be perfect. I would be heartbroken and destroyed once I got rejected from things. And I think I would go through a lot more pain and oh God, am I just a bad writer? Like all that hard thought processes and stuff like that. I would go through that so much more if I was seeking out acceptances, and there would be more to deter me from continuing to apply for things and continuing to create these opportunities for myself. Whereas with seeking out rejections, because I'm expecting no's, because at least getting a no is the goal, which is to say that at least submitting is the goal, because at least baseline getting a no is the goal, when I get a yes, I'm like on top of the world. And when I get a no, I'm like, nice. That's exactly what I set out for. Again, it's not seeking out rejections in a, oh God, I'm going to manifest rejections and no opportunities for myself. It's really not that. It's just about putting your best foot forward, even knowing that it might not be the right fit. But in the very least, you'll put your best foot forward, and whoever's reviewing your application, you might give a good afternoon to as they review it, you know? That's the goal here. The goal is not to be accepted into everything, because then when you're rejected from some of those things, you're going to be like, well, I am the worst. And you're not the worst. Just not everything's a right fit for you. And some things are going to be the right fit for you that aren't the right fit for me. You know, that's just kind of how it works. It's all so subjective. So as long as you're putting your best foot forward, no matter what, someone is going to see what you do, and someone's going to read what you wrote and be like, wow, I'm so happy that this person applied. I'm so happy I get to read this application. This is a perspective I haven't thought about. This writing is great. I'm so glad this person applied. And it might have taken you 1,000 rejections to get there. But at some point, someone's going to read your work and be like, wow. Yeah, I'm so happy about this. You know? I found it so valuable seeking out and thus normalizing rejection, and thus making rejection really easier. Again, since I deal with rejection-sensitive dysphoria, even just the normalization of rejection in my writing life has made rejection in my real life and how I handle it, it's made it a little bit easier in order to handle that, which I think is just an added bonus. This has been really beneficial for me. This is all about just putting your best work forward, putting your best applications forward, and just throwing them out into the universe and seeing what sticks. And you'll probably get a lot of no's. Or if you're lucky, you'll get a yes early on. But even after a yes, you might get a bunch of different no's. But all that's doing, just know that what that is doing is clearing out your path a little bit more, providing a bit more clarity for the next opportunity. And it's kind of opening the path for where your next project lies, for where your next acceptance is. It kind of just helps clear the pathway for you and helps you navigate it and find the next thing. A lot of the acceptances will come to you in the most weird and unexpected ways, probably. The things that you're really not expecting. It'll come to you there. And just make sure that throughout all of this, you're practicing kindness to yourself as you practice rejections. Because me having this mindset around getting rejected from my writing so much it's taken a lot to get this mindset. It's taken a lot of practice and work. So make sure as you are setting out on your journey of applying for all different things and seeking out a bunch of rejections that you're being really, really nice to yourself, because at first, especially, all of those rejections are probably going to hurt a bunch, even as you build up your resolve to seek out rejections. They're probably gonna still hurt at first, but at some point the rejections stop hurting and it just keeps being like, well, I'm one no closer to my next yes. And it starts feeling fine after a while, and you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be great, actually. But be kind to yourself through this, because it can definitely be rough at first, especially as you are getting used to it. But overall, it really helps for rejection, even in your normal, every day-to-day life, to just feel a bit more normal and a bit easier and to not sting as much. And practice makes better, so just keep practicing it and keep applying for things that you're excited about, for journals you're excited about, and grants you're excited about, and festivals you're excited about. Just keep applying for things you feel really, really excited about, and something will stick. Something at some point will stick. Don't go in defeated, and you won't come out defeated. You got this. I don't think you've seen Fauna at all. I want her to come out and say hi, so she's gonna get a treat right now. Oh, just a few of her pellets. There we go. Hi, bunny. Hello, my little bunny. I love having a rabbit. Yay, she's up on my lap. Look at that. Look at that angel. Just sitting on my lap, having a snack. A mid-afternoon snack. This is the best. Here you go, bunny. Good job, bunny. Oh, she's looking for more. That was it. That's all you got? It was just a little snack. That's honestly really all I had for you today. I just wanted to talk about this because I had an acceptance come in recently that I really was not expecting. My rabbit is standing on my knee and staring at me, looking for more food, but it's not dinner time. I just gave her like a few as a snack. But she keeps staring at me. There's no more for right now. There's no more for right now. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about this because I had a very unexpected acceptance come in a few days ago after getting, so many no's the past couple of weeks, because I've been really dedicated to applying for different literary magazines and playwriting opportunities and things such as that since November. I've applied for different things here and there, incredibly sporadically ever since 2018, but very, very sporadically. Whereas since November, I've really been taking it very seriously, especially with my playwriting and things like that. I've been doing a lot of playwriting submissions, and I had one that was very unexpected come in, and I just wanted to talk about this because this has been my mindset throughout the entire process, and it's the reason why I apply. The reason I apply is to get another no, because then I know that more people have read my work, essentially. That's my baseline. That's the goal, is to get a no. And if I get a no, it means I applied. And that's what matters. But sometimes the unexpected yeses happen, and it's like, oh, that's real cool. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. If you have any questions about my mentality on this, I would love to hear them and answer them down below in ye old comments. And I'd love to hear about what you do for your submissions, or if you're thinking about getting into submitting your work different places if you haven't done so yet. I'd love to hear about where you're at with this, or if you're not a writer and you just clicked on this to hang out and listen to me talk, how's your day going? Let me know. Let me know. I'm planning on making more writing related stuff soon. Like, I really liked doing that one writing vlog, and I think writing vlogs and submission vlogs seem pretty fun, and just, I don't know, talking about writing. But yeah, I'm gonna head off. Thank you again for joining and for listening to me. I love talking, so thanks for feeding that. The sun is setting. It is 4:48 and still blue out and starting to get really golden along the bottom edge of the blue, and it's just very pretty. And I'm gonna go read or play an instrument. I'm not sure which yet, but I'm gonna have a good time, and I hope you're having a good time. And yeah, thank you again for joining me. Thanks for hanging, y'all. Much appreciated. Goodbye. Goodbye. How do I stop this recording? Bye.